second person I talked to from a standpoint of foreign ag ministers was the Secretary of Agriculture of Mexico. And the first topic that I brought up with the Secretary after basically talking about the importance of USMCA enforcement and implementation was the issue of potatoes. Right now we are waiting, we collectively again, are waiting on a decision from the Mexican Supreme Court as to whether or not the Mexican government at the time they established a rule that would have opened up more opportunities for our potato growers, whether that rule was contested by the potato industry in Mexico. It's gone up through their court system to their final court. We're waiting for a ruling from the final court. Our hope is that it's a positive ruling. Secretary Vilsack suggested that he was confident that it might very well be a positive outcome. We'll see. It may or may not. But if it is, then that would open the door for opportunities. If it's not, then the second process that we've been engaged in is correspondence with the U.S. Trade Representative's office. And I'll have an opportunity later this week to visit with the newly confirmed trade ambassador to encourage her to do what I think she's already inclined to do, which is to make sure that there is enforcement of the terms and conditions and spirit of the USMCA, not just on the Mexican side of the border, but also on the Canadian side of the border as it relates to wheat and dairy. So I think we have issues with both of our USMCA partners about implementation. Implementation of USMCA, expansion of the Japanese trade agreement to eliminate the disadvantage we currently find our beef producers under by virtue of the fact that we've sold a lot of beef to Japan early in the year. We're now faced with a tariff that puts us in a disadvantage in that market based on the current trade agreement. Maintaining some relationship with China so that the Chinese purchases continue at pace and pick up so that they are consistent with the phase one responsibility. Looking for opportunities to expand new relationships in the United Kingdom and in Southeast Asia and potentially in Africa. And while we're doing all of that, we need to understand that the secret sauce of trade, in my view, is making sure that we have enough people in these markets giving us the insights necessary for us to understand precisely what those markets need and want from us, and that we basically respond specifically to that. We have enough partnerships with folks and entities in country so that we not only have ourselves being promoters, but more importantly, we have people from that country, from that region promoting U.S. agriculture, and more promotions, more opportunities for us to showcase. And we talked earlier about the sustainability message. We have a good sustainability message today. We'll have a great one in the future. We want to make sure there's plenty of venues, if you will, for the articulation of that commitment to sustainability and animal welfare and so forth. So I think that's, in a nutshell, where the focus ought to be.